Hey Beachtonians, Mayor Steve here again. We're getting real close to beginning. We have a few folks who still have their video on. You can go ahead and turn off your video and mute your mics for now. We'll have an opportunity to turn those on later. And if you haven't noticed the chat feature yet, you can also go over to the chat feature and we have a conversation going on over there that can help you as well. So thank you and enjoy the awesome music, and we will be with you in just a moment. We're getting ready to start.
So, but I guess you changed her mind. Well, I should have known it wouldn't be alright, but I can't live without her, so I won't even try. If I get drunk, well, I'll pass out on the floor now, baby. You won't bother me no more. And if you're drinking, well, you know that you're my friend, and I'll say, I think I'll have myself a beer.
It was my first year of college, and I only was a freshman.
Maybe someday I'll think of what you say. Maybe next time I'll remember what you do. She looks like heaven. Maybe this is hell. She said she'd do it all again. She promised not to tell. And if I get drunk, well, I'll pass out on the floor now, baby. You won't bother me no more. She said, it's okay, boy, 'cause you know we'll be good friends. And I'll say, I think I'll have myself a beer. I think I'll have myself a whoa.
Hey Beachtonians, this is so awesome that we have so many people here tonight. This is a lot of people to look at all at once. Esther, are you out there somewhere?
Here I am.
Hey, there you are. You're in one of those little boxes. Hey there, how's it going? Isn't it awesome that so many people showed up? I mean,
So cool.
Councilman Ramos Leibowitz said that it was a mistake to invite the whole community. I mean, that guy is such an idiot.
There, your mic is on, so.
Oh, my bad. Esther, why don't you tell these folks what they need to do here?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. I'm Esther Seidel. I'm the mayor's administrative assistant, and I just have a couple of housekeeping tips for y'all to help you enjoy our meeting as much as possible. First of all, you should all have your cameras and microphones switched off. And we ask that you don't turn them on unless you've been called upon to speak by Mayor Novak, which you will all have your turn to speak, I hope. There's a lot of us here, so welcome, welcome, welcome. We recommend that you choose the gallery view option rather than the speaker view option. That way you can see all of us, all the speakers at the same time. So thank you so much for doing that. You may right now be seeing a lot of blank squares with names on your screen right now. If so, you want to go to your video settings and select hide non-video participants. And then now you'll only see the squares with people who are talking with their videos on.
I know where to do that.
Yeah, so just turn off your mics and all your videos, and then if you find it's in your settings, you'll see hide personal views. My next note says, if you're having any problems, we're here for you. Turn on your chat window, and you can use that to ask any technical questions. We have staff standing by to help you. And when you turn on your chat, you'll see I posted, and I'll post it one more time. Our email address there, boom. Our email address and a number you can text for help if for some reason the chat's not working, nothing's working at all. Let's see, you can also use your chat at any time to join the conversation. You'll see people are already chatting and enjoying our socialization here. I'm so happy to see you all. Mr. Mayor, I'm all done.
Thank you, Esther. as she said, let her know in the chat if you have any problems whatsoever. She or one of our other Beachtonians will be right there to help you. All right, let's get this Beachtown Road to the Future Task Force up and rolling here. Task Force members, you ready to go? Oh, there you are. Hello, everybody. Hey, welcome, welcome.
Hi,
Hey, welcome to
Mayor.
all
Hey,
of you.
everybody.
Hey. So before we begin the actual meeting, I do want to take a moment. As you know, we postponed last week's task force meeting because we wanted to take an opportunity and give space and honor the memory of George Floyd and acknowledge all of those who have been affected by police brutality, economic inequality, and systemic racism. Please know that I and all of the citizens of Beachtown, we see you, we hear you, we are listening, and we love you. Your lives matter. I would like to take one moment just to venerate and honor and remind ourselves of the need to listen. So if we can take a deep breath in and ask to remind ourselves to listen, and then let that breath out all together. Namaste. Now, as many of you know, we have formed a separate Beachtown task force with our African-American community leaders, business owners, clergymen, and law enforcement, and we will be addressing this virus called racism. We know that in Beachtown, racism is something that we plan to eliminate. So thank you for that. And as we segue to this task force, which was formed to address COVID-19, the other virus that we have been living with for months. And I am fully aware that there are times where those viruses can intersect. And please know that in the coming weeks, this will be a safe space where all voices will be heard and all communication can respectfully happen between us. So here we go. Introductions. Most of you know me already, but I am Mayor Steve. And my first love is surfing, but somehow I followed my father's footsteps and I ended up as Beachtown's mayor. And come November, you will have the opportunity to vote, possibly by mail, and let me know if you want me to continue. I know these times have been crazy and beyond our wildest imaginations and overwhelming. I am just thankful that I practice yoga. Benny, on to you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm Councilman Benny Ramos-Leibowitz, and I sit on the Beachtown City Council, and I'm also a downtown realtor. And as a businessman, I know your pain. We have suffered enough. Let me just assure you that I will fight for you, the businessman, and get all Beachtonians back to work and jumpstart our economy, even if it kills us.
Hola, I'm Gloria Ramirez. I'm a resident of Barrio Playa. I'm also the chairwoman of the Coalition of Essential Workers of Beachtown. Now, I know Councilman Ramos says he'd like to jumpstart the economy, but at what cost? Barrio Playa has the highest percentage of essential workers, and they also have the highest concentration of coronavirus cases. Now, that is not a coincidence, Mr. Ramos.
Thank you, Gloria, as always, for your passion. Donna.
Oh, hi, I'm Donna French. I'm the Vice President of Beachtown's Small Business Association. As you know, my husband Topper and I own a surf shop, and we are so glad to see the businesses slowly reopen. Oh, I'm also a masseuse, and let me tell you, I cannot wait for the day that I can get my hands on somebody.
I'm Haynes, retired Vietnam vet and the editor-in-chief of the conservative newspaper, The Patriot. Let me just state that our liberties and freedom that I fought for are at stake here. In fact, I think this whole thing has been a liberal hoax invented to get the government to print free money and bankrupt the Federal Reserve.
If it's a hoax, why are you at home then?
Because I don't have on any pants. It's laundry day. You don't believe me? I'll show you.
No, Damon, please, that's okay.
No.
Folks,
Nope.
I want to introduce someone who is new to Beachtown, but whose presence I felt would be an excellent addition to the task force due to her medical expertise.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Haynes.
this appointment has nothing to do with the fact that this highly beneficial person with expertise contributed to your re-election campaign, does it?
Of course not, Damon. That would be unethical.
Oh, I also heard her late husband left her millions. Just saying, folks, money talks.
Okay, Damon, this isn't a tribunal. Why don't we hear from her herself, Dr. Shirini?
Thanks so much, Mayor Steve. Hello there, Salam Hamigi. My name is Dr. Shirini, which means sugar, but I am not sweet. I'm new here in Beachtown and originally from Iran. Mayor Steve asked me to be a part of the task force for my medical expertise.
Oh, you're an immunologist?
Oh, an expert on infectious diseases?
No, I'm a podiatrist.
Does that have anything to do with it?
She'll help you with your ingrown toenail, Donna.
A foot doctor? What does that have to do with COVID-19, Mr. Mayor?
Ka-ching! Money talks in this town.
Okay, Damon. Okay, why don't we get the meeting started here, folks?
Mr. Mayor, before we get started, may I take this moment to acknowledge that we are meeting on the original land of the Kumeyaay people in order to honor the elders of the Kumeyaay, past, present, and future.
Absolutely.
I don't have to take my slippers off, do I?
That is so meaningful, Gloria. But because we're meeting on the internet, is it possible that people from outside of Beachtown are joining us?
Oh, that's a good point, Donna. If you would like to acknowledge the communities and the native communities where you're located at right now, why don't you write the tribal names in the chat so we can all see?
That's an excellent idea, Gloria. But I do want to point out, no matter where you are zooming in from across the country or around the county, you are all Beachtonians here.
Oh, brother.
As a matter of fact, that reminds me, I have a great little exercise that I want to try with you. I learned it this week at the Zoom happy hour for the Facebook group, Progressive Mayors of Southern California. So if I could ask everyone out there in Beachtown, go ahead and turn your cameras back on right now.
Oh, brother.
Oh, there you go. Great, great. So now you can see all these wonderful faces out there in Beachtown, and just listen to the instructions while I'm talking, and go ahead and pick one person in your feed that you don't know, and I want you to smile at that person and wave. They may not see it, but don't worry, they'll feel it. Okay, great. Now I want you to take a minute and look into their room. You are getting the opportunity to look into a Beachtonian's environment right now. How special is that? And I want you to imagine that you are in that room with that person right now, and go ahead and look around. What does the rest of the view look like? And now look back at your person, and I want you to give them a beautiful wish from your heart. For example, right now I am looking at Allison DeRosa. And Allison, I hope that tomorrow you see a rainbow and it makes you smile. So you get the idea? Okay, so on the count of 3, everyone share your wish with your person. Don't worry if your microphone's on, they'll feel it. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, Marilyn.
I wish you would donate.
Nothing but good health, Marilyn.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was kind of nice.
Stay safe,
Okay,
everybody.
Beachtonians, you can go ahead and turn your cameras and turn your microphones back off for the moment. Thank you so much for doing that. Hey, Esther, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Mayor.
Okay, great. Oh, there you are. You're in that little box. Hey, can you make one of those info thingies?
Oh, sure. 1 second.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Esther is going to tell you how you can share your wish with the community, and she's going to post that in the chat right now.
It's
So if
there,
you
right
look
over.
in the
So if you go
chat-
to that link right there, there's an answer. You can just answer the question, what did you wish for your neighbor?
All right, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Esther. Thank you. We'll see you later. Okay, task force. Let's get rolling here. The purpose of today's task force is to discuss our beaches. As you know, with the COVID-19, we have come a long way, but as of today, our beaches are finally reopened. You can get in your car, you can drive down, you can park in the parking lot, you can spread out a blanket, as long as you stay within your family unit and as long as you wear a mask when you are in contact with other people. However, we have been having some problem with people not complying with these requests, guidelines. So today's meeting is to determine how can we more effectively practice safe social distancing, and how can we get people to comply, and especially with the mask wearing. So Beachtonians, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to the task force first and hear what they have to say, and then we'll open it up for the whole community to chime in. So is there anyone on the task force who, oh, look at Benny waving his hand like always. Yes, Mr. Councilman Ramos Leibowitz,
Thank you.
go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And you know what? I believe that you're being way too cautious. I say we enter phase 4 or 5 immediately, defy the CDC, and we open the whole town for business. Let's go back to normal. Go back to the good old days, to when Beachtown was a pro-development Republican mayor, they had one, and Ronald Reagan was in office.
Councilman, you're living in the past. Counties that have tried to go back to normal have seen a huge spike in their coronavirus cases.
There's zero evidence of that, Gloria. Coastline communities like ours rely on our beaches to attract people to our city and spend money.
And spread the virus.
That's highly exaggerated. The fact is, businesses have to open fully or they die.
People die.
In fact, Mr. Mayor, I am proposing all restaurants and non-essential businesses like acai yogurt stands to open up immediately.
I agree with Councilman Ramos. My massage business is not considered essential, but it's essential that I make a living.
Okay, Donna, that is an excellent point, and I promise that is something that we will discuss in a future meeting. But tonight's meeting is about social distancing on the beach and masks.
Y'all know I'm not a surf and sand kind of guy. I'm more of a nude bike rider, as you know. But I'm glad we're finally open. I mean, we're Beachtown. We're not Locktown.
I like the beach just as much as anyone else, but we need to think of public safety first. We should have never opened the beach until we tackled the 3 T's: testing, tracking, and treatment. Then, with scientific data, and only then, will we know when it is safe to open the beach fully. We need to think about our most vulnerable citizens first.
Yeah, I agree. We don't really know how many cases are out there. I'm afraid if we give people an inch, they'll take a mile. Remember when we opened the beach last month?
Oh,
People
I
came
totally
before.
remember, and that's why I
Right?
shut it down immediately. No
That
one
is
was
right.
following any rules. But
Mhm.
now the beaches are reopened. So what are some ideas that might help practice safe social distancing and wearing the masks?
Rocks.
What?
Rocks. We have the jetty in the bay full of rocks, yes? We take those rocks to the beach and lay them in circles on the beach. Each family stays inside their rocks.
That's an awful idea. That would ruin the aesthetic beauty of our beaches.
So I kind of like that idea. We'll change our name to Rockapulco.
Oh, how about we stick giant saffron-colored umbrellas into the sand and we place them 20 feet apart?
Ah, I like that. Like Christo's umbrella art installation he had up north of LA.
Yes, that was wonderful until the wind caught one of the umbrellas and it killed someone. We don't want to get sued.
Okay, people, I have an excellent idea. Good friend of mine owns a metal fence company, and he can make us hundreds of fenced enclosures.
Enclosures?
Yes, enclosures, like the ones used for puppy house training.
Oh.
You mean cages? Families in cages? Are you out of your freaking mind, Councilman?
Look, I'm just trying to find a solution, Gloria. I don't just complain like you. I try to find a solution, okay? All right, so how about this? We can repurpose old shark dive cages. Adults can sit or stand in them, and we can get smaller crab cages for the kids and toddlers.
That's a good idea. I like that idea. Keep the
That
kids safe.
is a terrible idea. The whole beach will smell like crabs. Kesota.
Another complainer.
Benny, your idea is ridiculous.
Beyond ridiculous.
Oh, your saffron umbrella idea is ridiculous and expensive.
Somebody just said Cristo fella died recently.
Cristo died about 2,000 years ago.
Not Cristo, Christ.
Don't yell at her, Benny.
I didn't yell at her.
Why are Republicans always so afraid of strong women?
Oh, wait. So
Right.
hey,
Obviously,
you want to label
I don't.
Okay, folks, thank you. Obviously, this topic brings up some heated emotions here. So I'm going to ask all of you to take a deep breath for a few moments and calm down. And we'll open this up to the rest of the Beachtonians and see if someone else has an idea. Esther, do you want to let the folks know how they can participate?
Absolutely. Here. Hi, Mr. Mayor. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Esther.
It's me again. We want to give everyone a chance to speak. If you'd like to add to the conversation, you have to let us know by using Zoom's raise hand function. To do that, turn on your participants window by pushing the button on the bottom of your screen. You'll see a raise. Once you do turn on the participants window, you'll see a raise hand button, a little blue button. And when you see your hand, you'll be added to the speaking order in the chat. You'll see me name you in the chat, and we'll go by that speaking order. Like right now, you can see Mayor Steve has raised his hand. Hello, he will be first to speak. And then next to speak will be Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie, thank you. So I'm gonna start adding that to the chat line. Oh, Stephanie's gone. I'm gonna start adding the people who are wanting to speak to the chat line, and we will lower your hand once you're added to the list. And when the mayor calls on you, please turn on your video. As always, you can just leave a comment if you don't feel like speaking out loud. Thank you so much, and here we go.
All right, thank you. I will follow Esther's order that she posts, but I see right here that someone has major concerns, thank you, Danielle, about policing of people on the beach, regardless of the rules we come up with, given the current climate of police tensions. I think that's an excellent consideration, is that the Beachtown police force is not really out there to be beach patrol. And so I don't know if anyone has any suggestions on something we might be able to do to enforce these regulations as we go along. Let's see here, Paul E. Looks like you are up next, so you can turn on your video and your audio and let us know your thoughts.
Yes, well, I think the saffron umbrellas is a good idea because we can also make it a dedication to Cristo.
Oh, thank you. That is wonderful. As someone mentioned earlier in the chat, and as Damon pointed out, Cristo did just pass away recently. So that is an excellent point. All right. And then next we have Damon Haynes. So Paul, you can go ahead and shut off your video and audio. And Damon, go ahead.
Well, I just want to make a personal thing. It seems like, you know, me and my group, we go out there, we the naked bike riders. And it seems like every time I'm naked on the beach, I don't have any problem with social distancing. So I think we should all just have a nude beach, and then we wouldn't have any problems at all. Thank you very much.
So why don't you have any problems with social distancing, Damon?
Nobody gets near me.
Oh, okay, I see. All right, thank you. I saw someone asked in the chat earlier about why the boxes were arranged in certain ways. It's a funny thing about Zoom. Actually, the boxes get arranged differently on everyone's screen. So your screen may be different from someone else's. Let's see here. Bernie, do I see Bernie is next? All right, Bernie, go ahead and put up, there you go. All right, what do you have to think, Bernie?
Mayor Steve and the
Yes.
esteemed panel that I'm honored to have an opportunity to present to. Dr. Sheeran, I thank you for being here. I have a bad case of bunions. I look forward to getting some of your guidance before we're through as well. I'm not in favor of any sort of radical steps, but I do believe that some minor steps in regards to closing may be appropriate. And that would start with closing some of the non-essentials, for example, nail parlors and massage parlors and just any type of parlor, ice cream parlors. But we need to close even more than that, I would say. We need to close virtually every business and storefront. Beyond that, I would say we need to close our hearts and our minds and our eyes, and only then can we be safe. And I would ask this esteemed panel if you would please take my very passionate feelings regarding closing into account. I also want to say one final thing, Councilman Ramos, if you're not the most inspiring leader I've ever experienced in my life, I don't know who is.
Well, thank you very much. Those were wonderful thoughts. So Bernie wanted to close. He thinks we're opening too fast. That may be a discussion for a future day. But for right now, he wanted to affirm some of the other ideas that we've heard here about the beach. So let's hear. I'm trying to move on. Councilman Benny. It looked like Bernie was a fan of yours, so I think your plant idea worked out well. So go ahead, Councilman.
Mr. Mayor, and I find that atrocious that you would actually even insinuate that I would plant anyone in this beautiful audience. This is the voice of Beachtown. And like many voices, I want those voices to be heard, not only right now, but also in November. And one of those voices are the voices of businesses. People want to just put those people aside, not hear the voices of the people that make Beachtown great, and that's the small businesses. So I want to lend just a couple of minutes to one of those small business owners, Ms. Donna French, and I want to yield the floor. Well, and I ask Ms. Donna French one question. What would happen to your family if your business remains closed, as Mr. Mayor and Gloria want to do by remaining the beaches closed? Donna,
and Bernie, don't forget Bernie. He wanted to close as well.
Yeah, let me just say that closing two different businesses. I have the surf shop and I also have my massage business. I do want to reopen, but I want to reopen safely. I would never want to risk the health of my customers and my clients. But as far as my family is concerned, it's been rough. I mean, we had to apply for a PPP loan, an SBA loan. We haven't heard anything. We had to go for unemployment. We had to negotiate with our landlords. I mean, it's very discouraging. I know the small business community actually put together some potlucks with other small businesses so that we could all eat together. I mean, it's really hard. It's very hard.
Well, we understand you people are only interested in stimulus checks anyway.
Oh.
Okay. Damon, Donna, Benny, these are all excellent points. And as I've said a few times tonight, I want to try to keep tonight's discussion about the beach. All right, so thank you for all of that. I do see we have a lot of support within the chat feature over here for the shark cages. Give me shark cages or give me death. And making Beachtown great. That came from Dan. And then Dave said, has anyone considered testing stations or proof of wellness to access anything that is reopened? I mean, I think that's an excellent idea. But again, I will echo, I can't believe I'm echoing Councilman here, but how are we going to pay for some of these things? As we all know, some of Beachtown's programs have already had to be closed due to the budget cuts that have faced us earlier. Let's hear, Esther. I've lost track of the thread here. I just want to see. Then Susan Cobra. Here we are. Susan. You can turn on your. There we are. Hi, welcome, Susan. Thanks for joining the task force.
And everyone else in the city council. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak tonight. You know, we had the red tide recently, and the stink was so awful. And I live 5 miles inland, and it permeated my house and the neighborhood. So if you can find a way to bring back the red tide, no one will want to go to the beach, and the problem is solved.
There we
More
are.
science.
There we are.
More
Maybe we
science.
could get a marine biologist who could re-attract the red tide here for an alternate thing. Excellent suggestion, Susan. Thank you so much.
Speaking of which, we've been trying to do something about the illegal immigrants coming across, and we think that that's probably going to solve the problem of the smell. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Damon. We're going to try to keep it away from topical innuendos about the border here tonight. Let's hear the doctor is next. Mr. Mayor, there we go. Doctor.
Me, doctor? Yes, yes. I have best idea ever.
Oh, let us hear it.
Okay. We put all of our money into VR goggles. Every family member has VR goggles. We wear them and we pretend we are at the beach, but we are not really at the beach. It's brilliant.
That's a wonderful idea. We could just, I could even surf with VR goggles. Yes. And I mean, everyone's got a set of VR goggles at their house, right? I mean, I know I do.
Everyone.
Right. So I think we would all be able to do that. So, Gloria, do you have a pair of VR goggles at your house?
I don't, and I don't know very many people who do. But
Oh, really?
if
All
we
my
took away
friends
a
have
little
VR
money,
goggles.
if we took away a little money from the police, from their funding, like Linda mentioned earlier, and we added that to funding to help people get on the beach with VR goggles if they wish, or with the beach patrol, because if these people are coming up to you and asking you to put on your mask or to stay away 6 feet, I know I'm going to. And we shouldn't give anybody guns who's in beach patrol, only these. These are the best guns that Beach Patrol should have. Shout out to Lonnie Johnston, NASA engineer and inventor of the Super Soaker. Beach Patrol on the beach, and we'll have fun all summer long.
Well, that would answer the earlier question we had earlier about enforcement. So we could have people out there with super squirters, but we wouldn't have to worry about some of the police violence and horrible things. So I think that's an excellent idea there. Wonderful, Gloria. And I see some people in here. We had a thing in the chat. Someone was asking what our numbers were here in Beachtown. And as you know, Beachtown's numbers have been pretty good, but recently they've been creeping back up. So we want to be careful here.
Well, we only lost 1,000 people. That's not much.
Hey, Damon, every life matters, please.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So,
Mr. Mayor, all lives matter?
You're taking me out of context. You're taking me out of context.
Denise had a great idea about rewards for people who are social distancing and putting their masks on the beach. Maybe the reward to them is those VR goggles. You guys.
Oh, there we are. There we are. Bubba, we have a Bubba out there. Let's see. Oh, there's Bubba. Oh, Bubba's at the beach, apparently.
Yeah, well, virtually anyway. I like that virtual goggle thing. Well, as you know, I take care of the baseball park down by the beach there. Our little leagues. We had to cancel our little league tournament this year. Groundskeeper of the baseball diamonds.
Okay.
Well, I'm the guy that lays the white chalk lines. The white chalk lines around first base, second base, third base, home. And also the pitching circle. So I have this little machine that releases white chalk. I can come down to the beach with a couple of my boys and we can make chalk circles or chalk squares every 20 feet. That way people can stay inside their pitching. It's like a pitching mound that they're gonna stay in.
That's an interesting idea there.
Of course, when there's a wind, when there's a big wind, they'll all go away, but hey.
Okay, so we might have to have you out there several times a day.
Probably about 3 times a day.
Elaine made a really good point that would hurt our ocean life. Good job, Elaine. I didn't even think about that.
It would destroy and the beaches. Come on, the chalk mixing into the sand.
No,
all right. Well, thank you for the suggestion, Bubba. We will take it under advisement.
All right, I'll tell
We don't want to leave without saying a few words about how our leadership has made it possible for us to have enough ventilators. We've had enough ventilators. We are the ventilator beach town of the world. Ventilators are what we are about.
Thank you, Damon. I always appreciate you bringing up the ventilators. And it looks like we have Eric George Tauber in the chat ready to go. So go ahead and turn on your video there, Eric.
Hello,
Eric.
Okay, so it seems like, you know, the policing of the masks for law enforcement, that would be a waste of their time. I think they would be annoyed. I think the people would be annoyed. Lifeguards could remind people, but this might have to be one of those use at your own risk sort of occasions.
Oh, so you want people to kind of be on their own.
People know the risks.
Okay.
All the information is out there.
All right, thank you, Eric, for that perspective. So we
And
do
that
agree.
you can always stay away from people who are unmasked.
Okay.
It's the
Or
beach.
undressed.
So thank you, Eric, for that perspective. So there's an idea that we can consider, kind of a every person for themselves, and you take care of yourself, and I'll take care of mine. I do know that that sometimes can hurt the children, that can hurt the parents, that can hurt the grandparents. I did notice that someone had a suggestion of Donna being able to accentuate the chalk with some beautiful designs as well. And someone wants to know what Councilman Benny is drinking in his red Solo cup. I know that since that incident last year, he's only been drinking water at the meetings. That's what he assures me. So
That is what I assure the judge as well, Mr. Mayor.
thank you. Thank you. All right, I think we might have time for one or two more folks here. I'm looking in the chat. Do we have any further raised hands, Esther? Okay, then I want to thank everyone out there for all these awesome ideas. That was amazing, everyone. And I want to assure you that the task force is now going to take every idea that was presented here tonight, and we are going to compile a report, take it to the city council, and hopefully we'll see some action soon from the full city council. I do want to say, and forgive me here, this is just kind of what I do. I want to say that I think these meetings are an opportunity for Beachtown. I know this time is crazy, and I know Zoom is crazy, but I think this is an opportunity for us to not only end up being a stronger community, but maybe a more connected community as well. Oh, that reminds me, Esther, are you there?
I'm here, Mr. Mayor.
Do you have that infographic thingy that you were going to make?
Oh, sure. I have the results right here.
Oh, look at that. These are some of the wishes that came in for your neighbors. Oh, this is beautiful. And Esther, if people want to see this later, what do they do?
Yeah. There's a link that's posted in the chat room, and you can just go ahead and look at all of the responses at your own time right as we keep going.
Oh, well, thank you. I don't know what I would do without you. So I want to say thank you to the entire task force here, and to Esther, my right and left hand, and to all you Beachtonians. Please come join us again. We will be here again next week, same day, same time, next Wednesday night. And before we head out, Donna, would you be willing to sing a couple verses of the Beachtown hymn for us?
Oh, sure, Steve. I'd love to. Deep as the water, strong as the waves, we'll stand together with blessings and grace. O land of sunshine, sing praises to thee. Beachtown, oh Beachtown, my hometown to me. Beachtown, oh Beachtown, my hometown to me.
Amazing.
Thank you, Donna. That was beautiful. Hasta la vista, everybody. Stay safe.
Thank you, everybody.